Hi, it's Friday, February 7th, 2014. I'm Jeremy Shea, the producer of Gavel, Alaska. This is Jersey the Pug, another one of our office dogs. Little update on the ebook. There's a snazzy graphic that I will put up here that Heather Bryant made today. It's another one of these Apple Store hoops that we're jumping through. We'll use this to help promote it later on once it's actually published. We're getting closer. No publication date yet. But here's what we plan to cover on Monday, February 10th, the 21st legislative day on Gavel, Alaska. Both the House and Senate Education Committees are meeting separately at 8 a.m. We'll follow the Senate side. They're working on the governor's omnibus education bill, that's SB 139, and SB 107 by Kodiak Republican Senator Gary Stevens. SB 107 establishes a targeted kindergarten to third grade reading program for students and teachers. There's basically two main pieces to the program being proposed: new state requirements for assessing and reporting students' reading skills and deficiencies, and training for teachers on how to interpret specific student reading skills and teach to specific deficiencies. The Department of Education estimates it would cost about $200,000 per year to do this program. At 9 a.m., we'll be in the Senate Finance Committee. They've got at least three bills on their agenda: SB 93, SB 71, and HB 193. SB 93 is by Senator Donny Olson, a Democrat who caucuses with the Republicans from Gavel. It extends a 2014 sunset date on the state's training and vocational education program out to 2024. Reading through some of the documents on this, it sounds like keeping the program going keeps grant funding flowing to several rural hub communities and small towns' technical training centers. It mentions the one in Kotzebue, Seward, Nome, King Salmon, Bethel, Delta Junction, and Soldotna. It's about $1 million a year to keep this going. And the money is theoretically drawn from a fraction of 1 percentage point of payroll taxes collected for unemployment. SB 71 is by Senator Peter Micciche, a Republican from Soldotna. It has to do with when commercial fishermen's landing resource tax is collected. It's a fish tax, basically. So according to Micciche, this particular tax has a fixed due date of March 31st. But in order to calculate the tax, fishermen have to know how much the fish are worth according to a state fish price report. That fish price report does not have a fixed publication date, unlike, their current taxes due date. And in some years, that fish price report hasn't come out until months after the tax's due date. So commercial fishermen get hit with late tax penalties, through no fault of their own, essentially. So one thing this bill does is peg the due date for this particular tax to 30 days after the fish price report comes out, and also gives fishermen a way to pay their estimated taxes, as they go, instead of all at once at the end of the year. And finally, HB 193 by Representative Lance Pruitt, a Republican from Anchorage. This bill does two things. It lets the State Department of Revenue share tax information with municipalities for collections purposes. The idea is to make it tougher for tax dodgers to dodge taxes. These two entities that collect taxes are sharing information, essentially. And it lets municipalities and the state collect cigarette taxes together, because the state has some of its own cigarette taxes and some municipalities have their own separate cigarette taxes. So this just lets the Department of Revenue do it for the municipalities if, the two parties agree that that's the way to do it, instead of collecting them separately. At 11 a.m., both the House and Senate are in session separately. Their calendars haven't been posted yet as of this recording. The Senate is supposed to have SB 125 up for its third reading. That's the bill to block pay raises for the governor, lieutenant governor, and department heads. Not sure if there's any other legislation up for floor votes on Monday. At 1 p.m., the Alaska Association of School Boards is meeting with legislators for their annual fly-in. Basically, it's sort of a junket of school board members and youths from around Alaska who fly into Juneau. They have sort of a conference over the weekend, have a little education, lobbying, workshops, discuss talking points. Hey, Jersey. Then crash the Capitol on Monday and lobby legislators. It's this particular event is just one of many events that they're dealing with over the next couple of days. And it's usually really refreshing. Like, it's kids speaking truth to power, And the kids sign up for this, the ones that actually sign up for this and want to give up their weekend to get involved. They tend to be really smart and articulate. And, I just highly encourage you to check this out if you can, especially with all the huge education issues that legislators are working on this year. And that's at 1 p.m. At 1:30, Karen Rehfeld of the Office of Management and Budget is giving a budget presentation on the state's 10-year plan in House Finance. Also at 1:30, Senate Judiciary is continuing its work on Senator John Coghill's SB 64, the reform-minded bill that makes life a little easier for certain convicts and criminal substance abusers. Coghill's a Republican from North Pole. At 3:30 p.m., the Senate Resources Committee continues its work and hearing presentations on SB 138, the governor's natural gas pipeline bill. Into the evening hours, there's some House Budget Subcommittee meetings of interest. I'm on the fence about covering some of these ourselves. We'll have the Ledge TV streams at least. The two in particular I'm interested in are both at 5 p.m. The House Education Budget Subcommittee, where they're looking at pre-K and early education, and the Department of Transportation Budget Subcommittee, which is looking at the Alaska Marine Highway System. I think I'm going to hold off on whether we'll cover them or not until Monday afternoon, depending on how long some of the other meetings go on Monday and how overloaded or underloaded our TV time is. Okay, that's it for Monday. But there's a Saturday meeting this weekend that I mentioned, I think, briefly yesterday. It's at 9 a.m., Senate Resources on Saturday. There's a couple of joint resolutions, a bill extending the Citizens Advisory Commission on federal areas in Alaska out to 2021 instead of sunsetting this year. That commission tends to do a lot of Fed bashing, basically. I'm probably oversimplifying. They probably do more than that. There's a pretty technical bill related to state oil sales to Tesoro specifically on one particular contract, and it just okays a contract amendment that was made. Public testimony opportunities on all of this stuff, so it could be interesting, or Gavel interesting at least. We won't be covering it, but we'll have the Ledge TV streams if you want to watch it. That's it. Okay. Thanks for watching. Here's my contact information. If you want to get in touch with me. Hey, Jersey. Hope you have a good weekend. Jersey, look at the camera. Say bye-bye. Okay. Good job, Jersey. Good job. I'm totally, completely hairy now, but good job. Good job.